From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, November the 11th, 2016. President-elect Donald Trump spoke over the phone on Wednesday to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, inviting the Israeli leader to the White House. Today, Israeli paper Yisrael Hayom cites Trump saying that he hoped his administration would play a, quote, significant role in helping the parties to achieve a just, lasting peace, adding that any deal would have to be directly negotiated between Israel and the Palestinians, and called Israel the one true democracy and defender of human rights in the Middle East and a beacon of hope to countless people. Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev left Israel today, concluding a two-day visit to the country, during which he met with Israeli President Reuven Rivlin and Prime Minister Netanyahu, and visited several sites in Jerusalem's Old City, including the Western Wall and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Today, Medvedev visited Yad Vashem, where he called the murder of 6 million Jews an example of the indifference and the terrible crimes of the 20th century, which should be forever etched in the history of mankind. Later today, before heading back to Moscow, Medvedev also met with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in the West Bank city of Jericho. Israel's security agency, the Shin Bet, released its monthly report today, which showed an increase in the amount of terror attacks last month by nearly 30%. A total of 153 attacks took place in October, almost a third of which occurred in Jerusalem, compared to 109 attacks which took place in September, a sharp rise compared to any month over the past year. Jewish poet, singer, and songwriter Leonard Cohen has died. Some of Cohen's most beloved and popular songs include Suzanne, Bird on the Wire, and Hallelujah. His record label wrote on their Facebook page, "We have lost one of music's most revered and prolific visionaries." The Canadian-born Cohen also had a very strong connection to Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu wrote on his Facebook page that Cohen was a great creator, a talented artist, and warm Jew who loved the people of Israel and the state of Israel, recalling how Cohen came to Israel during the Yom Kippur War and sang to IDF soldiers, out of what Netanyahu wrote was a deep feeling of partnership. Israeli President Rivlin called Cohen a giant of a creator open to all people who also knew how to accompany the state of Israel in the fields of battle and in times of growth. Cohen was 82. A memorial service will be held for him in Los Angeles at a later date. The American Jewish Committee today marks 110 years since their establishment. On November the 11th of 1906, 31 people gathered at the Hotel Savoy in New York and officially formed the AJC with the purpose to prevent the infringement of the civil and religious rights of Jews and to alleviate the consequences of persecution. AJC CEO David Harris said upon the anniversary, "I believe our visionary founders would be proud of how AJC has stayed true to its original mission while growing exponentially in size and reach," citing the unwavering commitment of the global advocacy group to defend Jews at risk and to fight for human dignity and human rights for all. German Chancellor Angela Merkel was honored by Munich's Jewish community this week. Merkel received the Ohel Jacob Medal for her work to promote and protect Jewish life in Germany and for her commitment to the State of Israel. In her acceptance of the honor, Merkel said, "We owe it to the victims of the Shoah and we owe it to ourselves that we pass on the knowledge about what happened and that we stand up against any threat by hatred and anti-Semitism." Well, Jews around the world will be taking part in the Shabbat Project this weekend, an initiative to unite Jews from across the spectrum of Jewish life. The initiative began in South Africa in 2013 and now includes participants from across the globe who will be marking the event with communal challah bakes, dinners, and other special events. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, November the 11th at 6 o'clock, live Shabbat services from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed at 7:30 with musical highlights from the Krakow Festival. At 8, Dahlia Robin and Aaron David Miller look at the future of U.S.-Israel relations at the 92nd Street Y. And at 9, it's the film Legacy of Yedvabne. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, Rabbi Shlomo Riskin looks at this week's Torah portion at 5:30. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, November the 11th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.